The latest numbers show it is still anyone's race here in Colorado. Republican voters are ahead in early voting with about 15,000 ballots lead over Democrats. But about a third of Coloradans are unaffiliated, and they could very well decide this election.
So people in the tiny New Hampshire town of Dixville Notch were the first to cast their ballot in person in the country. There were only 8 people in all. 4 people voted for Clinton, 2 for Donald Trump, 1 for Gary Johnson, and 1 surprise write-in for Mitt Romney. So Clinton takes that tiny town, but overall Trump is up in overnight in-person voting there in New Hampshire by 7 votes, 32 to 25. Most presidential candidates finish their campaigns with just a flurry of stops, each stumping in key swing states.
Donald Trump was in 5 states yesterday, hoping to drum up enough support to win today.
Hillary is the face of failure. She's the face of failure. She's the face of failed foreign policy. Now we have one flawed candidate to beat. One person who will not be able to do the job for you folks.
Clinton visited 3 states, and she brought with her both Hollywood and political heavyweights, including Jon Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen, President Obama, and the First Lady.
We have to heal this country. We have to bring people together, listen and respect each other.
Today, Coloradans will decide a lot more than just who will be in the White House. We're also making decisions on 9 ballot measures. That includes policies taxing tobacco, raising the minimum wage, and aid in dying, and also universal health care. Now remember, your ballot must be in by 7 o'clock tonight. A postmark at this point just doesn't count.
Today, we could see record-setting voter turnout. Denver 7's Jason Grenauer is in Arapahoe County, where they have had some issues on election days in the past. Jason.
Yes, ArapahoeVotes.com, the elections website here, actually went down for about 5 hours on Election Day back in 2014. But I spoke to the clerk and recorder just a few days ago. He said him and his team have been working for years to, 1, make sure that doesn't happen, and 2, to get ready for today. It's expected to be a big one. You mentioned that possible record-setting turnout. Arapahoe County normally turns out among the highest in the state of Colorado on Election Day. So far, nearly 200,000 people have turned in their ballots here, and with a presidential election drawing out many people who only vote every 4 years, this once again could be record-setting.
This year we're expecting somewhere around a 90 to 92% turnout. So that's about 315,000 voters we expect to turn out this year, which will be the largest number of ballots we've ever had here in Arapahoe County.
Now, keep in mind, you cannot mail your ballot back. You have to drop it off at the ballot box. Some of these are 24 hours, including this one here in Littleton, or come and vote at those in-person polling locations. Those open at 7 a.m. They close at 7 p.m. Want a time-saving tip to avoid some potential lines? I'll tell you about that coming up at 5:30. As for how the rest of Colorado is voting, we're now going to head up to Boulder. And Denver 7's Amanda Del Castillo. Good morning, Amanda. Happy Election Day to you.
Happy Election Day, Jason. Good morning. Yeah, Jason just spoke about Arapahoe County numbers, but in Boulder County, roughly 100 or more than 129,000 registered voters have already put in their ballots, and those were numbers that were gathered yesterday. Now, early numbers showed that registered Democrats outvoted registered Republicans and unaffiliated voters in the state's largest counties, including here in Boulder. That trend continuing today. Now, back in March, people waited nearly 90 minutes to get checked into their Boulder caucus location. It's unclear if we're expecting to see wait times similar to that today. We'll have an opportunity to ask that question later this morning. Now, the elections office tells me they're preparing to work into early Wednesday morning. Back in 2014, they were counting ballots past 5:45 Wednesday morning.